Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I'm out here at Shooters of Mars, Florida, about to do the review of something different. And the reason why I say it's different is because it's a handgun, all the way from Montenegro. Check this thing out, and it's called Tara Perfection. Might remind you of something. Yes, 4.5-inch barrel, chambered in 9mm, 17 capacity magazine. Yeah, I think definitely reminds you about something by now. Check this out, nicely numbered on the side. Let's put some 5 rounds into it and do some shooting. And see what this Tara Perfection can do. Now, the model is TM9. And actually the whole company is like Tara Aerospace, something. So I guess they do something with aerospace besides sending rounds into the aerospace. Okay, so not a very easy to load magazine. The cartridges kind of go all over the place, but not that well actually. Yeah, it's pretty weird to load. But we got 5 rounds in. Let's see. I'm gonna shoot that orange at the top. There are a few bullseyes on there. Let's see if I can put some bullseyes with this Tara Perfection. Okay. What is wrong with this trigger? Holy cow! Well, I did get a bullseye, so at least that's good. Am I hitting the bullseye? It looks like I'm hitting the bullseye. Let me try to do the flappy pedal. I missed the flappy pedal. I got too comfortable. Okay, so the recoil. You can definitely see the recoil. I mean, it kicks like and I'm pretty sure it has to do with this single stage guide rod that is implemented here. I'm pretty sure that is the same guide rod that has been used on Generation 1, Generation 2, maybe even Generation 3 Glocks. And basically what it is that it has the same amount of, it has that one spring that absorbs the full potential of the round leaving the barrel. I really don't want to get into physics, but I'm just trying to explain. Now there are more advanced guide rods out there, basically that have, the more there is a recoil from the round, the more there is resistance, and as the slide travels backwards, the resistance is applied proportionally in order to give you a very smooth recoil and not that crazy kick like it is here. So keep in mind, with 4.5-inch barrel there shouldn't be that much recoil from a 9mm, but there is because of a little bit low quality guide rod. But again, you have to keep in mind this gun is like below 300 bucks. All right, so we're not gonna expect too much. Just something for you to keep in mind. Not a fan of the magazine, feels really cheap, harder to load, but again, keep in mind the price. Okay, let's start from the beginning with the grip. Now, there's really no aggression on the grip at all. Let's just say that. It's all smooth. But if you are an enthusiast, well, there's plenty of stippling opportunity here, all right? But other than that, it's really smooth. I mean, this finger grooves kind of, I guess, help a little bit with ergonomics, and overall it does fit fairly well, at least in my small hands, but no aggression. And no mag well either, although the magazine is tapered, so it's not hard to get it in. Now, mag release is nicely ambidextrous. Check this out. Little square button on both sides, yes. Although the slide stop, slide release is not ambidextrous, so I'm not sure what the purpose is of the mag release to be ambidextrous. Anyway, moving further, we have some serrations on the trigger guard. You probably noticed the accessory rail, your standard 1913 Picatinny accessory rail. Okay, done with the frame. Let's move on to the slide. As I mentioned, it's a very low profile slide stop that Only works as a slide stop, really, but no big deal. It's fine, whatever. It's not ambidextrous, though. Keep in mind the slide itself. As you can see, some aggressive, very aggressive serrations on the back. No serrations at the front. Now we got our 3-dot sights over here. As you can see, very standard. It's steel sights. So for those who like the steel sights, well, there you go. You have it. Now, whenever it comes to the safety features, not much safety features. As you can see, no safe action system on the trigger, which is completely fine because the trigger is like 10-something pounds, at least what it feels like. Also, the trigger system is a little bit weird. It is actually a double action, single action trigger, which is kind of weird considering that this is a semi-automatic pistol and there is no external hammer. Yeah. So basically what it means is that if you do have the round that was struck by a hammer and it didn't go off, you can restrike it again and again and again until you finally decide to clear that round, get the next one in, and then fire it. Yes, so that's really the purpose. Honestly, I would say one really beneficial aspect of having a trigger like this that is double single action and you can just dry fire. I mean, dry firing, you know, you're practicing drills. World universe of drills opens up just very, man, my English, I didn't need to. Basically what I'm saying is you're on the range, right? And you're dry firing because ammo is super expensive, all right? Or you're in the house and you're room clearing. You could do that, and don't do that at your range because you'll be kicked out. Okay, so let's put some 5 more rounds through this, and then I will show you exactly what the trigger looks like. And it's a bad trigger, all right? It really is a bad trigger, but again, you have to keep in mind the price, and also there's another benefit from having a bad trigger like that. If this is your, like, if you're just now getting into guns, and this is your brand new gun purchase and you never had a gun before, it might actually do some good. Okay, I'll try to hit some flippy pedals. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, 2 out of 5 actually. With this, I'm impressed. That was me with the gun. All right, so let's talk about the trigger. So, as you can see right now, we have cocked trigger. And check this out. We have about 2 millimeters, maybe 1.5 millimeters of travel. And then we have, I don't even know when this ends. It goes all the way, so yeah, 2 millimeters, and then all this like a mile. And then a little bit of this, and then a little bit of that, and then a little bit of this, and that twice, and holy cow, will you ever fire? And okay, finally, the trigger breaks. Absolutely horrendous trigger, all right? Let's just be honest, even for the price. But here's the thing. If this is your first gun, right? And you're shooting with this gun and you're hating it and you're hating your groups and you're working harder and harder and harder. If you master this trigger, if you're able to break this trigger without moving your gun around your sights off target and hitting the target with any other trigger out there, you're gonna be just great. Okay, so basically this is like your training firearm, and for the price I think that is a pretty good option whenever it comes to having a training firearm. Also that, I mean, seriously, being completely serious, that you can do some dry firing drills, because dry fire drills are very important. If you really want to be proficient in firearms, it's very important to do the dry fire drills, and with that you can definitely do. Also, it's very easy to disassemble. There is this lever that comes down and you don't even need to break the trigger in order to remove the slide. So again, if you're a beginner to firearms, easy to disassemble, easy to obviously get into the firearms maintenance. All right, it's not going to be very intimidating. But other than that, that's really it. There are no manual safety in that. One thing that I wanted to mention, there is a loaded chamber indicator. Yeah, this magazine is super weird. Loaded chamber indicator in the form of this little extractor that is kind of sticking out. Barely visible, so I would not rely on that as like, yeah, this is it, because it looks pretty much exactly the same when there's nothing in the chamber, all right? So don't let that take away from you grabbing the gun, checking the magazine, and then checking the chamber, just like you would with any other thing. Don't rely on that. So, in the conclusion, okay, like I said, if this is your first firearms purchase and you really are on a super tight budget, this is the only option available, blah, blah, blah. Decent firearm for the price. I mean, it works. It did not jam in the course of 10 rounds. Let's put 5 more rounds. Why not? Just so that we know that it doesn't jam. Although 15 rounds, even 50 rounds, it's really hard to tell if the gun is 100% reliable or not. But it all comes down to the quality of the ammo that you're using. It all comes down to the maintenance. As long as you maintain the gun in a good, clean condition and regularly test it on the range, should be good. But let's do some rapid fire. And no problem. So, Montenegro, well done, guys. Tara Perfection. I'm surprised that you guys have not been sued yet for using the Perfection after the name of the firearm, but pretty good, especially the dry fire option. I think, especially because you guys know I always mention practice, drills. So this is really kind of refreshing. And with a heavy trigger, yeah, it's a terrible trigger, but then again, it will really train you to become a better, more proficient at handling really any other firearm that is out there. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this Tara Perfection TM9? What do you think about this review? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below and I will be happy to address them. If you are not subscribed to this channel, make sure to subscribe because we have some brand new giveaways that are coming this way. A lot more stuff coming this way, in fact. Some things that we're working on. But thank you very much, guys, for watching. I appreciate your time. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Getting into matches, I'll show you how to do it. All right, next shooter, wait. I'd say, you understand the course? You'd say, yeah. Then I'd say, make ready. That's the proper command, make ready. You don't touch your gun till then. And then, are you ready? Ready. Okay, when I hit standby, this is, like I said, delayed. You know it's going to be about 3 seconds.
I can have a gun in my hand for that.
Oh yeah. In this case, yeah.
Not aiming.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by.